I need to do signing for you. Signs and prints.
Yep. If you have time to, if you don't, then when you get back,
I totally
your package, I just got a message from customs. The package will be delivered this morning. So finally, you beat it in.
Bryce is exhausted, so he's gonna sleep in today.
Good.
And well, he can't fall asleep early, so he stays up late at night and then he wakes up late. Single male life.
But he does all these cons for you all over America. But does he live nearby you in Provo? Or?
Yeah, he's thinking about moving to LA, which might complicate things a little bit, not badly. But yeah,
we're live. We're just kind of live. You know, this works. I'll rotate it. So we've got like 2 cameras here. The iMac camera usually looks at me here. The other camera, of course, is on the work.
yeah, you have a fancy setup.
Once Cameron comes, we turn it around. It's Jed. We'll turn it around for you here.
Okay, who's on? How many people are on right now?
No idea. There's usually a bunch of people waiting. Right, they're jumping in right away.
Morning, guys.
Do you know how to run a Mac? It's type.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So to anybody who might be new to David's stream, my name is Jed, and I designed some of Dave's prints that he produces in his shop. I did not design the one that he's working on right now, though I wish I were that talented. Haha.
That's a different kind of thing. Nice to have you here. It's been a while. When's the last time you were in Japan?
Oh snap! Last
year, so
yeah,
that's not that long. So.
December, and I'll actually be coming back again in December.
Oh, you're gonna do the Tokyo show?
Comic Con.
Really?
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
Do we need to be involved in like getting goods, receiving goods and stuff for that, like we did last time? Receive stuff.
Oh crap! I should probably like figure that all out.
Yeah, like it's getting close.
I'll think about that.
You've got our addresses.
Sorry, you guys are seeing the inner workings of our logistics. All right, so let's see here. Everybody saying hi.
Is Cameron going to help you with that? He's going to take a couple of days off and do that?
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So what are you working on right now? Is this the gift print?
It's the gift print, yeah, which is goes live October the 20th. As soon as I get my time machine figured out. So it's actually very close now.
October 20th? Wait, was that yesterday?
2 days ago, I think.
2 days ago?
I don't know what day it is.
Let's see here. Okay, cool.
So you're here to do some sketching this year?
Yeah, I've been doing some sketching.
Last year you did the same thing. I think it rained every single freaking day you were here, right? I mean, it rained like buckets.
You know, it's like a $1,500 trip, and I came out here expecting to like have it pay off and do some art, and then a typhoon was coming, and I couldn't do any sketching. It was a bit of a bummer, but I had the quote pleasure of hiking a couple like legs of the Nakasendo in pre-typhoon weather. It was beautiful and wet.
Pre-typhoon weather.
You know, like the rain that always precedes the typhoon.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you must have been what? There must have been nobody else up on the road at that time then.
No, actually, no. The path was full. I kept running into British and German people, and
I guess
there was an Indonesian family, a big Indonesian family, like 15 people, all hiking the
Nakasendo. So they had booked the accommodation so long in advance they could easily cancel out.
Typhoon's a typhoon. You just gotta go with it. So I guess, guys, we have the benefit of me being here, which means that I can very closely watch the chat and answer questions and guide the discussion in any way that you guys would like. So let's be very active on the chat if you're interested, and I'm happy to be responsive. Corin Gamin says, Jed, how many sketches of Dave do you have by now? I've never actually sketched Dave. No, I did that one. We did a long time ago. We did a New Year's card of you on a...
Yeah, the kite picture.
Yeah, on a kite.
Yeah.
I never
that
really,
was fun. That was
I never really
fun,
sketched
actually.
Dave.
I was really happy with that.
Dave won't pose nude for me, so I'm just joking. I've never asked.
That's not quite true. We've been in the bath together. I was in the last night with my son-in-law. That's why my hair's all funky, because I was in the bath late last night and slept on it.
Someone says Brooklyn pizza is the best in the world. Bobman0110. Have we talked about this before about Brooklyn pizza? I have had some excellent pizza in Brooklyn.
So you come in here to start talking about pizza?
I don't know.
We have world famous Jed Henry here, world famous artist, and people are side chatting about pizza.
I'm always excited.
Talk about a side quest.
I'm always so excited to talk about pizza. Let's see. We need more Dave cameos in the prints. The cult of Dave is alive and well.
That kite picture is online. Somebody can link to it.
We should do a wood print of just you in the studio, Dave. Like, I mean, if people are interested in you and your life, and I would love to do a little print of like you and everybody working in the studio. You know what'd be really cool is a 3-level cutaway of your entire workshop showing everybody doing what they do as an Oban or a Chuban.
Well, I could see it as an illustration on the web page or something. I could see it as a woodblock print.
No, it'd be a woodblock print. It'd be amazing. And then we get it produced, and that's like the month we get evicted. Okay, let's see here. Let's be active on the chat as we promised. We need to do a sketch of Dave with pinstripe shirts or Edgewater casino sweater.
You know, I found that yesterday.
I love it.
I was starting to get my stuff ready to swap out. You know, summer, it's getting chilly, so I was swapping out my winter clothes for the summer clothes. And I found that little thing. And my mother's probably listening. It's a jumper. What do you call those things?
Yeah, is it? Yeah, I know that one. I also love the rust red and forest green sweater that you sport through the winter. The one that's got the stripes. Okay, let's get on the chat. Non sequiturs, Dave. Okay, let's see here. Someone says, what medium are you most skilled at, Jed? I like to work in watercolor, and so when I moved to woodblock printing, it was actually kind of a nice natural transition because I was used to working in transparent media. So yeah, watercolor. I like watercolor. And I can show you some sketches I've been working on lately. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh yeah, so Dead Steve says, do you pre-scout your locations for sketching on Google Maps, etc.? How do you decide? Honestly, Steve, like when it comes to like what I'm sketching, I try to look at. Is that the boot lady?
I believe it's a shooter. I'm not quite sure. Sorry to interrupt you. There's something more important.
No, it is more important.
Sorry about that.
Should we get her in here?
It must be 8:14 or something, right? Is that the time? What's the time?
It is 8:07. She's ahead of time.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
I love it.
You lost your chance to see her. You know?
Her stilettos must be
Cal
fierce.
was here last week. He's seen her. You know, you
know.
lost your chance. I should have remembered and sent you outside to wait there. You know. Sorry
okay.
about that. Excuse me. Back to your question. Sorry.
Well, you could put the shoe lady walking by the front of your shop on the cutaway of the shop.
And she's got to be blurred out because nobody's allowed to see it.
No, she would just be like from the back. We just have to have the high heel shoes showing prominently. Somebody's saying zoom. Oh, zoom on what?
On me.
Yeah.
I forgot to get it set up. Yeah.
Everybody says zoom on Dave.
Yeah. Go on.
I was like, not on me.
No. I forgot to set this up.
Okay.
I can't see where we're going. Hang on a sec.
Cool. Okay, cool.
Sorry about that.
So, Dead Steve, to answer your question, I really don't know what I want to sketch till I just see it in the moment. And
am I okay? I can't see what.
yeah, you're great. You're perfect. And it's not so much like a question of location, as in like check boxes of like this place is cool, this place is cool. It really is light, color, and composition, and those are the things I'm looking for. So if I see like an alley with, I don't know, a bunch of trash cans and a bicycle, but the light is perfect and the composition is interesting, I'll sketch it, as opposed to like, you know, I need to hit the Imperial Palace and Zojoji and, you know, whatever. Though I do like to sketch brown farmhouses surrounded by green woods.
Which brings us to the topic of
Oh, I don't know. Let's see.
whatever, next year's series, you know, of course.
Last Known God says, how about a print of 50 jabronis watching this stream? I love the word jabronis.
Only if you all commit suicide in unison at the end of it.
Oh,
because I
gosh.
think it's 47 going in. We get so many requests for that kind of print. Do you have any prints of the 47 loan in? Do you have any Rush Tush prints? We get lots of requests. We can't really easily get into that kind of business. And most of the people who come here to look for prints are casual visitors, tourists looking for decorative prints. We're not really yet into the print collectible sort of thing. You know, people looking for specific, more expensive collection items. As the years go by, maybe we'll move into that. But it's a bit out of our field, and it's out of our physical location territory.
Korigami says I could go to Ome and just sketch out of your house window view, that beautiful stream and stuff. I agree. I'm a big fan of the outskirts of Tokyo. Okay, somebody says, Ken says, Jed, can you tease at all what you and Dave are working on for the next Heroes series? For Heroes. So for like the Ukiyo-e Heroes stuff we're working on?
There's confusion when somebody says the next Ukiyo-e Heroes series. I think what they mean is the next subscription series.
Ken, do you mean the subscription series?
Well, or do that has overlap, because we have done Ukiyo-e Heroes concepts on that. We did 2 portraits and the Chibi Heroes and stuff. So I think that's the confusion. The last 2 subscription series haven't been actually Heroes related. There was the Yokai set and then Legendary Loot set. And the series coming up is going to be, it's really an open secret at this point. It's going to be a landscape series.
Yeah, we'll do a landscape series. But so Ken, we are doing a landscape series for next year's subscription series, 2019. Oh, and Ken specifies, he clarifies, not subscription, just the Heroes part.
Okay, well,
Yes. So I'm working on a bunch of stuff. I don't know if Dave will turn it into wood prints, but in terms of like creating clay prints that I think are cool, I'm working on, I did a new Star Wars one, and I'm working currently on a Berserk one, and I'm sketching one for...
What's Berserk? Is that a game?
Berserk is a pretty violent, crazy manga, and it's pretty epic though. And I'm also working on one for Hyper Light Drifter. If anybody is a fan of indie games, I fell in love with Hyper Light Drifter a couple years ago, and I decided to make a print of that because I think it's going to be fun. In fact, Tamatama, just by coincidence, I am wearing my Hyper Light Drifter shirt today.
You designed it?
No. It's from Fangamer. But anyway, I'm a big fan. So
you buy stuff at these cons, do you?
Every once in a while. I mean, I'm exactly like you. So I show up at these cons and I do this fan art stuff, and it's because I'm one of them, like that is my element. I like this stuff. It's just like you keep spending Mokuhanka money on prints.
Let's not go there.
And then I say, oh cool, you gotta wrap that up and put it in the shop for sale. And Dave, 90% of the time, you guys, when Dave's excited about this or that print that he got off Yahoo Auctions, he's like, no, these are for me. These are for
I wouldn't say 90%. I mean, we're slowly building our own collection, but we have...
I'm saying 90% of the time that you are excited about it and you tell me about it.
Yeah, okay.
Dave says, no, these are for me.
But it's not me. I'm at my age, I don't buy stuff for myself anymore. We're trying to build a collection that will support this business.
Yeah. Ken says, how can I draw Star Wars without Mickey having an issue? It's been 6 years and nobody's ever gotten into my face about it, and so I'm just moving forward. And
that's interesting that there was a person here yesterday who was specifically talking about that, mentioning that the Disney policy really seems to have changed in the last, and he specifically said 6 years, whether it's the regime change at the top or whatever, but there was a policy they used to be ultimately tight. Anybody draws a mouse with 2 ears and whatever, bang, down you go. But they have grown with the times, the fact that there is so much more remaking and fan sharing, and they were alienating so many. I mean, Disney became the word we all love to hate for the copyright things that they've done to copyright. And I think they perhaps consciously, whether from the board of directors or from the management, have said, look, let's make ourselves less of an evil empire. Let's back off a little bit. I think that's what's happened. This image we have of them as being super strict and super tight is perhaps now a little bit outdated. They haven't announced a policy. It's okay, go ahead, and nobody says anything.
Well, of course.
But they seem really...
That would be dangerous.
No, they seem to have backed off on this.
So I haven't heard anything about anybody, raising a fuss, especially in the United States. I've heard stuff in like the UK, things have happened, but...
Is there lots of Star Wars type stuff at these conventions?
Oh, tons.
Not just here?
Absolutely tons.
So it is. So
not as much as you would expect, because I think that fandom for the new ones has decreased, and so I think that in the zeitgeist it doesn't have as big of a as big of a presence as you would have expected with all the hullabaloo of a couple of years ago of Disney acquiring Star Wars, blah blah blah.
Well, they've oversold too many movies too quickly?
No, they've made movies that just haven't resonated with the fans as much as maybe they could have. And so it's not as big of a deal in the zeitgeist as like you would have expected.
Are there people doing licensed Star Wars things like this? No, I don't mean plush toys. I'm talking about in the world of like posters and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because
Totally.
those people
yeah.
would be perhaps upset. People who have paid for a license, and then guys like you are coming in and out of cutting them. So even if Disney isn't angry, other licensees could be angry.
Yeah, I don't know. They can write me a mean letter. Let's see here. I know someone interested in a female size cut for the Wolf Girl shirt, says Dead Steve. Maybe Dead Steve, maybe someday. I'm kind of like tapped out for shirt printing right now. The kind of shirt printing I do is I don't do direct to garment, which is like you can pull off one shirt at a time and just sell them piece unit like that. But the problem with like direct to garment printing is that it falls apart after a couple of washes and it just doesn't hold together very well. So instead I do, what is it called? Discharge printing, which is it's a screen printing process. And the only way to do it cost effectively is to do a batch of, a couple hundred at a time, which costs me quite a bit.
Wait, direct to garment. It's being printed on
a machine
one
by a thing that's a printer. You put the shirt on this special just kind of a brace, and it goes. Wah, wah, wah,
okay.
wah.
Then the other one you're doing isn't print. It prints on the T-shirt.
It's screen printing though.
Okay, so it's a different way of applying the ink to the fabric, but it's
absolutely different inks too.
Okay. But it does go directly onto the garment. I'm just confused about
direct to garment means it's essentially an inkjet printer that prints shirt ink onto a shirt.
Onto whatever you've bought and brought along.
But it doesn't work well. Okay. It works okay, but it's not the kind of product I want to sell.
Okay.
Tangents. Okay, let's see. Anyway, so Steve, to answer your question, we'll see. There are costs that are a little bit like spooky for me sometimes if I take on too many shirt batches and designs at once. So we'll see what the future holds.
Is it necessary for you to inventory this stuff, or isn't there a system where you can just not really have inventory and you can take orders on these things and they're made for each person and delivered?
Not screen printing. Not screen printing. The only way to do it would be direct to garment.
Okay.
And that's what those like piecemeal like website services that offer that. That's all they use DTG printing.
I see. Okay.
Which I'm not a huge fan of. I don't think the quality is great. Let's see here.
So it means you have to inventory stuff. You have to choose your sizes and colors and everything and order them by the ton and carry them around to all the conventions. Okay.
Well, so I've decided not to carry them to conventions anymore.
That's what I mean. It makes it not practical to do that.
We just do it online now. Let's see here. Okay, Frozen Runner says, is there anything you'd like to tease about the Berserk image? Yeah, it's going to be an image of Guts and the Beast of Darkness. It's Guts after he went crazy on a giant heap of dead demon bodies, and he's on top of them. Winded, wounded, and spent. And then the Beast of Darkness will kind of be represented as this kind of cloudy black figure kind of around him all over. So that's my plan. I couldn't fit every character, in, but I just decided to focus on the relationship between Guts and the Berserk armor and the Beast, because I think that's like the main spine of the whole story. So yeah.
Justin, how do you have time to play these games and look at these things these days? And that's not a sarcastic question.
I'll be honest. So I've only actually read about an issue of Berserk. So this is me like being official. Like I've only read about one of the tankable. Mm-hmm. So like one of the books of Berserk, and then I just have a buddy who has read it all through like 8 times, and he went through and found me some key chapters that I needed to read, and so he loaned me his collection. And he bookmarked some of the key things that I need to learn. And then I read all the plot synopses. I read a couple of the tankable myself, watched some anime, tried to research for a couple of days, and then make a decision.
I was just because with 4 kids and all the insane amount of work you do, and family.
Yeah. So sometimes it is things that I've invested dozens and scores and hundreds of hours in, admittedly, but sometimes I can't always do that. Yeah. Cliff's Notes. I have Cliff's Notes, and I use my buddies as research staff. So I'll call up one of my friends who's a fan of this thing, and they'll hold my hand while I design it. Let's see. Any plans for kaiju or Godzilla monsters? And then Ken answers, yes, it's already done. And then somebody else says, cool, I'll go check it out. Cool. Let's see. Oh, Cal says, I'm doing a better job keeping up with the chat than him.
Cal, as in that Cal.
He's back.
Soka.
Back in Ohio, right, Cal? You're from Ohio, right? Let's see here. Yes.
I never did see Cal. Cal did some printing upstairs the last day he was here with a bunch of test sheets of paper he brought with him, and I never did get a chance to see him. It was the most insane day we've ever had in the shop in 4 years, that Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I just remember there's a blur of his face came down, he's like waving in the window and saying, I'm out of here, bye-bye, thanks for all the fish. And I never had a chance to even say anything to him.
Yeah.
It was an incredible day that day.
What was it? Was it just random people walking in?
It was a bunch of things. Those 14 ladies, art group ladies from the Netherlands came in and they went through the place. I think I said they went through like a cloud of locusts.
Yeah, you offer good stuff, Dave. If you guys ever make it to Tokyo, come to Dave's shop because he has a beautiful selection.
That was a really good experience because they were here as an art group and they've been going around shops, all, not just woodblock prints, but scrolls and this and that. So these people are sort of, they know what they want, they have an idea of what it's worth, and stuff like that.
Interesting.
And four or five of them were here the day before, just bumped into the place randomly. And they said, yes, wait a minute, we'll be back tomorrow. And they brought back the whole group tomorrow. And they all bought a ton of stuff. And they were all really happy. I can't believe we found this place so good. We're going to be back, do you have online?
So they were connoisseurs and they knew.
Yeah, exactly. And they knew what these things were worth. And like one of them said, are you sure this is okay? Why are you selling this stuff so inexpensively? Because they've seen like the art shops,
right.
The name of an art shop downtown who basically doubles the prices of everything.
Yeah, the one over in the publishing district?
Yeah.
I forget.
I don't know, it's whatever it is. So they're used to that kind of stuff. Because these are like elegant ladies living in a higher class environment.
Yeah.
And she said, are you sure this is okay? She actually said that, like ducked her head down. Dave, is this all right? I'm like, yeah, we're paying the staff and we're happy and I don't have a Rolls Royce out back, I have a bicycle and that's sort of how we do it, So they said, well, we'll be back. They didn't look at your prints. That wasn't a
Dave is not a cutthroat businessman, you guys. He's a good guy trying to put good art in people's homes.
Yeah, we're doing fine. We're keeping people at work and we're having fun and whatever. No, not to talk about that.
Yeah.
That's what happened last Wednesday. Was all those women were here, plus a couple of other large purchases, and it just put us into stratospheric territory for one day.
The MERS, my name is Jed, and I designed the video game themed prints for Dave. Somebody asks, is this Cameron's bearded cousin?
No. But actually, you keep saying that like you're designing for me. I mean, this is your concept. You created that concept. It's your origination, and we're the ones who make woodblock prints for Jed.
Sure. I don't care who gets the credit as long as I get paid. I don't care who gets the credit.
There are people who think they are my work and that I invented the whole thing, and that's not true at all.
There are people who think I make paper and print. I do wood printing, and I have to set them straight. It's okay.
And people will come in and say, Dave, I got 3 of your Star Wars prints, and it's like, okay.
and then it's like distance.
No, I don't. I told you this before. We no longer even try to correct people because there's no reason to disappoint them. Oh, that's not a real woodblock print you have.
I've learned that the word no really deflates people. And so I try to not say no, that's wrong. I try to say yes and.
I see.
Check this out.
I get you.
And so like at Comic-Con, somebody will come up and will say something to me like, do you make your own paper? Instead of saying like, no, that's ridiculous. That's a lifetime pursuit. Why would I be able to do both things at once? Which is one or two times something I might have wanted to say. I've learned to say, actually, I'm the designer and I contract with this family in Japan.
Good idea. Very good idea.
See, the word no really deflates people. No. Really takes the wind out of people's sails.
A nice life lesson there. Good.
Yeah, I've learned. Okay, let's see. Corey Ngami says, do you ever watch playthroughs on YouTube, such as interesting games in preparations for new prints? Absolutely, Corey Ngami. So I work alone in my basement, and a lot of times when I'm doing kind of tedious work, like inking or...
It's in basement, he means dungeon. But
my dungeon, yeah. I'll just turn on a Let's Play of some new game and just have it playing kind of off to the side, and if something interesting happens, I'll pause and see what they're up to in the game and go back to work. So that's how, I watch a lot of Let's Plays and some live streams, and that's how I keep up with, all the games. Oh, not all the games, but the ones I'm interested in. Okay, let's see. Cal says it's freezing and he's only on 3.5 hours of sleep. Dead Steve says if I ever come to Tokyo, it will be specifically, first and foremost, to visit you and your shop, Dave.
We occasionally get a visitor here with people come in with their bags, their travel bag, whatever. And we're like, are you on the way to the airport? They never know. No, I just came from the airport. And like, this is where I wanted to come first. So they've got their travel bag with them still.
Corin Gami says, way to go the Japanese way on saying no to people. Yeah, like it's skirting around the issue.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good thing to say.
I don't do it because I'm nice or Japanese or anything. I do it because it saves time. And when I'm at a Comic-Con and I just want somebody to buy a print, I try not to deflate them because I feel like sometimes if I say no to somebody,
it's the end of the conversation.
It ruins the experience for them. Yeah, and it is the end of the conversation. So yeah. Invader Pork says the man cave. Yeah, if I were more manly, it could probably call
a guy with 4 little kids doesn't have a man cave. A good daddy with 4 kids. Every time I Skype to Jed, there's like 1 or 2 kids hanging on each shoulder or around the back or whatever.
But what's more manly than having a bazillion progeny? Like in terms of like a...
I wasn't going to go there, but okay.
In like a Genghis Khan kind of a way. Is it like a quarter of the earth a descendant of him or something like that?
Is that your goal for the future?
No. We have 4 kids and I'm done. And I have no intention to have...
What do you mean you're done? You didn't make
I have no intention to have like a breeding operation with concubines, which is disgusting.
What does she think about this? Is she listening today?
My wife's the one who wanted the kids.
That's what I said. So what does she think? Her idea might be, what do you mean we're done, boy?
So no, we're done. I think we're done. We're done. She's like, yeah, anyway.
I think what that is, it's the memory of the previous one is still a bit too strong. Once it fades away another year or so, you forget...
Nah.
Years what? They're 3 years apart, are they?
Yeah. So we started 12 years ago, and that's good enough for me. It's a lot of work. Kids are at work.
12 years ago, 9 years ago, 4.
So 9 years ago, yeah.
3, 6, and 9.
Yeah. Smart. Way to do the math. Okay, let's see. Oh, somebody says audio is clipping at peaks. I'll try not to shout.
You're a bit close on mic. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
There is a compressor, so it shouldn't be too bad.
So,
we can handle a hammer.
3 Evan. I'll try not to shout so loudly. Can be.
We can handle this, but we can't handle you.
I am accused of being too loud a lot.
It's a question of enthusiasm. When you get enthusiastic, up goes your voice.
Somebody says words are important. Nods and saying should or must will just make people feel bad for not doing things. But if you say you can do things to people, people feel enabled.
Is this a sermon that's happening this morning?
Well, no, she was just, or he or she was just commenting on our how to work with people. Satori says 4 kids and makes the whoa face. 1 in 6 Europeans are supposed to have lineage linked to Genghis. Insane.
Jed's only, what are you? You're 34 now, I think? Jed's right between my 2 kids. My kids are 35 and 33, and Jed, I think, is in the middle. I don't know what number you're at.
Ken Howard says, be careful with the words, I'm done having kids. As Malcolm from Jurassic Park says, life finds a way. Yeah. Equine says Dave looks different from the last time I saw him. Yes.
My hands?
Much more
what
handsome.
Are you seeing? Oh, you mean just seeing you. Yeah.
Handsome and fuller cheeked.
And younger.
Let's see. Dave usually whispers, so a normal tone of voice clips the audio, LOL. Yeah.
Cameron should be coming along this morning too. He's had his first actual vacation. He was in Hokkaido for a few days.
Yeah.
He flew up there, I think.
I Skyped him about that, actually. He told me he was going up there. Yeah. So, is it a, what's it called, Suzume? Is it a sparrow?
No. You haven't seen the picture?
No. Where did you get this?
This is from Harada-san, who's a carving bench I'm working on. This was a sketchbook he did.
This is a sketchbook?
It comes apart, be careful.
He sketched it?
It's not sketching, it's like little watercolor, miniature watercolor paintings, I guess, what would you say?
What? Oh, it's Kingfisher.
His son told us that his dad had originally wanted to be an artist, but, couldn't find a way to actually make a living at it, but became a woodblock print carver.
He's good.
He's very good. We showed the book here, and people are just raving about it.
He should have become a fan artist.
Back in the 1920s, I think the opportunities were limited.
Pre-internet.
What do you do? Mickey Mouse?
Yeah, right. I saw some very disturbing, early 20th century Mickey Mouse and Snoopy sculptures at this flea market by Tokyo Eki yesterday.
Snoopy sculptures.
Yeah, like old toys of Snoopy and Mickey. They looked very disturbing. They hadn't really nailed down the look yet. Let's see.
I'm getting lots of work done this month. Great, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, Dave's in overdrive.
I'm just steadily, peacefully chewing away at it.
Somebody says that the early Mickey toys are very scary. Agreed. I saw some for sale. They were very scary. Hey, we could do. This is amazing, Dave. I'm jealous.
No,
I'm jealous of this person.
And the tiny scale of the brush strokes are insane.
Yeah, I don't really understand that.
Just little tiny brushes, I guess. I don't know.
It makes sense when you're a Japanese person with very limited physical room in your home.
Yeah, to work at such
small.
Yeah.
I was at the Edo Tokyo Museum yesterday, and they had those reconstructions of the longhouses in there. And the first thing I thought was it looks like a Japanese modern dorm. And you know how everybody had they had the braziers, those little coal cooking stations.
Hibachi or whatever.
Yeah, hibachi. It looks exactly like the modern slot where everybody puts in their gas stove in the modern apartment. It's just a 19th century equivalent of that. And it blew my mind. Like how little the Japanese mentality of what they want in their living conditions has changed. The technologies have changed, but the execution of them has been the same. It was interesting. They had a Genkan. They had that little gas stove. They have all their futon that they fold up and put in the corner. Everything is the same. It's crazy. Yeah, Korean actually. So I met up with Dave for dinner, and he told me he was going to the Edo Tokyo Museum, and then I copied his idea, but I didn't see him there. So
it's a good place.
So he didn't ruin my trip to the museum.
The main National Museum in the park, in Winter Park, is really an old-fashioned, it's a glass showcase museum. You walk around, no explanations. It's really not.
I was a little underwhelmed with it. Yeah.
But this one, there's one thing we were really frustrated though yesterday by the Edo Tokyo Museum. There's some fabulous reconstructions of the old castles and reconstructions of the old town. The first thing you see when you go, you go over Nihonbashi, there's the town. And they've been so intent on making every detail perfect that they have forgotten to make it viewable and visible. You can't see the stuff. Like there's a reconstruction of an old theater with all the seating and the walkways and everything. And you can't see. You can just look in through one window and try and see something inside. You can't see it. The model makers had their own fun making this perfect model, but we can't actually get into the model. Me and Craig were yesterday. How does we're trying to find an angle where we could look inside this thing and see it, and you couldn't. And the model makers had their fun, but don't forget this is a museum, guys. And that Nihonbashi one, where all the people are walking, you stand 2 meters away from the main street where the people are walking. You can't see anything. They've got a couple of broken binoculars on the side there for you to do. I had this here before we went. I said to Craig, "Remind me, we got to take my binoculars." He says, "Why?" I said, "Just don't ask. Just remind me. We got to take my binoculars." And he forgot to remind me. They sat here on the bench.
Should I tell them your story about the binoculars?
He knows the story about the binoculars.
No, does the internet know your story about the binoculars?
My story about the binoculars.
About the Kutsuno still.
You're looking through it backwards, Jed.
Am I? Are these made for Japanese faces? This is not fitting my white face. Huh?
Is there a story I'm not remembering? The story about the binoculars?
No. The Kutsu no don 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 sto.
What's the connection with binoculars?
Oh, never mind. Never mind. I'll shut up. Okay, we have more questions in the chat. Blah, blah, blah.
Question.
Early Mickey was mean, says the Murs. There was a documentary on the evolution of cartoon characters and how they went oftentimes from being cruel to more kid-friendly. That's funny. Oh, yeah, I can show you guys what I sketched yesterday. Oh, the story. Well, maybe I remember. Dave was just saying that he saw the shoe lady walking by one day, and the first thought in his head was, I should follow her and see where she goes to see who this person is. And then he took a step or two towards following her down the street, and then had better judgment prevail. And
Common sense, of course.
decided not to follow her.
What's connection with binoculars?
Oh, because then I joked, you could just use these.
Okay.
You could just use these and learn everything you need to know. Or not. Nothing a good trailing won't teach you. Yeah, so Dave's better judgment kept him from learning about the shoe lady.
Jetson, as far as next year's series goes, I've prepared the images you've sent me. I've got 3 of them here on standby on a slideshow. If we want to show 3 of them, it's I think number 1, number 3, and number 11.
Did you cherry pick? Did you pick your favorites?
No, I mean the ones that were sort of quote, semi-quote finished.
Sure.
We can talk about this.
恥ずかしいけどね。I mean, ちょっと.
Showing people pictures is embarrassing. I mean, this is what we do for a living.
I guess so. That's true. But I don't like. Yeah. Anyway, we can do it.
All right. Anyway, so here are 3 of the images that we're teeing up, ready for next year's series. And as we said, we're not sure the title yet. It's 12 months, 12 prints. It's over the seasons in Japan. Jed has done 12. We'll do 12 sketches, 12 locations, and we will do them in a natural seasonal sequence. So the print that goes out in January will be set in January. The print that goes out in August will be a hot, muggy August, view. So it's the seasons through Japan as seen by Jed.
Rainbow, you say, what do I think about Cuphead? I love Cuphead, but I also hate Cuphead.
What are we talking about?
Oh, video game. Okay, let's go to the.
Here, and if I just there's 3 in here. There's 3 images. I just pop up the first one. And this is pretty much worked out, ready to go, I guess. This is not a rough sketch.
This is ready to go.
A rough sketch. This is ready to go.
This is going to be what month was it again?
The January. We start with this one. Yeah,
so guys, this is a depiction of Sensoji Temple, which is just down the street from Dave's place.
You can't see Sensoji. Sensoji is behind. This is
This is the second
Hozomon gate.
Hozomon. It's the Hozomon gate leading into Sensoji. And at New Year, they do their, what's it even called? Ore. Hatsumode, which is like a
first shrine visit of the year.
Yeah, it's like a New Year's observance. It's like a religious observance, but it also just has kind of a secular cultural aspect to it as well. I think some more people put more meaning on it, and other people just have it be like a cool tradition, depending on their level of how deep they are into Buddhism. And so realistically, actually, in this area, Dave said that it is just packed with human bodies waiting in line to go up and do their Hatsumode.
For 3 days, it is physically, literally non-stop stream of people, day and night, running up there, going up.
For the sake of like a pretty composition, I didn't cram it with people, just because otherwise it wouldn't have been pretty to look at all.
It's fun. This is what it would be like, say, after about the 3rd day. It would have trickled out and dribbled out, So.
Yeah. Korean Gummy says, will there be sprayed snow on this print too?
This one will be not a sprayed style. This one will be snow in white paper snow. So those white snow particles will be cut out of each of the color blocks.
Yeah. So we'll have to cut the snow out. And actually, if you look, guys, this is an interesting little feature to woodblock printmaking. So because we're going to be cutting the snow out of the blocks so that it doesn't leave the pigment on the paper and just leaves it white, it's really problematic if we have the snow exist in an area where 2 different blocks meet.
Or 3 or 4.
Or 3 or 4. So for example, like if this was if say this is like one color field, well, I don't know how to explain that physically. Here's two areas where the blocks are going to meet. We don't want to put a snowflake right
on the border
between the two areas, because then what if they don't match? You end up having a snowflake that looks like it looks like this. If the blocks aren't perfectly aligned. And the reality of this medium is that sometimes by human error or by, moisture in the paper or whatever.
Human error. Did he say human error? Anyway, keep going.
You're lucky I called you human.
Where's Cameron?
I get to talk back to Dave because we're just partners, not
okay. Get on with it.
Employer, employee, senpai, kohai. Anyway, yeah. So if the blocks are chotozurete like this, then
they're going to understand what that means.
Then they wouldn't line up. Somebody says that's why sprayed snow is more practical. Yeah, but the carved snow is more traditional.
More beautiful, yes.
And this guy is all about traditional.
We do both as appropriate. This one, we didn't want the false stuff sticking on the front of the paper. We just wanted it to be inherent. Because too, some of the snow is in the distance and some of it is up close. And
right.
You don't get that feeling when you spray the stuff on.
So with the snow, we will be, if you look really closely, none of the snowflakes
avoids joints. Yes.
Rest on top of two color fields meeting. And that is a little bit of trivia for you guys there. I mean, when you look at it first, you think, oh, it's just snow falling. But if you look, every snowflake is perfectly encased in one of the color blocks so as not to create that problem for us. Somebody says, please speak English.
You said like chotozurete.
Yeah.
Well, tell them to use the opportunity to learn what some Japanese means.
Oh, I mean, that's not helpful. Not this way. So anyway.
That's number one.
That's number one.
To get a bit more about this, I know this is not ukiyo-e now in any sense and form. It's traditional Japanese printmaking, but ukiyo-e is a theme, a concept, the pop culture of Edo and stuff like this. In the 20th century, after ukiyo-e had completely died with the modernization of Japan, another printmaking genre came up, the one that got labeled as shinhanga, where they were more realistic-looking designs and images, but still based on the same concept of a separate artist, carving team, printing team, and publishing team.
Right, but in terms of, there's a couple of big differences. One is, in terms of like the production flow, a lot of times the shinhanga were based on watercolor paintings.
Yes.
So instead of being like an ukiyo-e artist, back in the ukiyo-e days, the artists, like the Hokusais, the famous people, would just do the line drawings for the most part. And then pass those line drawings on to the publishing team, and they would choose the color fields, the patterns on the clothes, all of that. And so it was really like a really split up thing.
Yeah. And the important point being, there was no completed picture to start with as a model. It was started with a sketch and the thing built up. With the shinhanga, it started as a completed picture.
Right. So the artist would have done a whole watercolor.
How you doing,
and then, did you check out? Okay, I'll just call him in a little bit. Bryce, do you want to stream to the peoples?
Or just at least poke your shoulder.
Okay, cool. So I'm traveling with my friend Bryce, and he goes on the road for probably 2/3 or 3/4 of 3/4 of the Comic Cons that we do. So if you see a man that doesn't look like me running our booth, it's Bryce, and it's because I have kids and I can't be that negligent of a father, and so Bryce does a lot of the shows.
He's negligent to his kids.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah. So negligent that I've never heard about them. So yeah, Bryce doesn't have any kids. So anyway,
because he's too busy doing cons.
Yeah.
Let's not go there. Okay.
So the shinhanga guys would actually have done an entire watercolor painting and handed it over to the print team, and they would have had to break it apart. And somebody says, hello, Bryce, a gangly dude.
Another one.
You just got called gangly. That's good.
I'm the gangly dude?
Yeah.
That's a compliment.
All right.
Is that good? Yeah, that's cool.
Except for the parts that sag.
Okay, so should we do image number 2?
Oh, so the point being, what we're going to do is not an ukiyo-e hero series. We're doing a Shinhanga Light, because we've only got, we've got a limit on how many colors and gradations we can use, because this is a monthly subscription series at a reasonable price, not a $200 Shinhanga print.
Right, so like Shinhanga prints would have had like 50, 60, 70, 80 impressions.
So, morning, Cameron-san. So this is Shinhanga Light with there's two things in mind. So that Jed can develop his drawing chops on this genre, and then we can develop our printmaking chops on this.
Because it will be a bigger challenge.
It's going to be a much bigger challenge, and the challenge to keep them on schedule every 4 weeks, every month, to keep one of these going. You have to click in first. How's your trip, Cameron-san?
That's good.
Good. Wasn't sure if you decided not to come back. Cable from Hokkaido. I'm going to stay here. I'm done.
Yeah, that's nice.
Welcome back, Cameron.
Yeah, nice to see you. How's your flight?
It's good. I watched this movie that scared the living crap out of me.
Part of the game?
Plane. No. No, I watched freaking... Have you guys seen the movie Annihilation? I hadn't seen it yet. I watched it. And that bear scene, you guys.
They have scary movies on a plane? I don't think
That bear
they do
scene
that.
scared the crap out of me.
If you want to show another picture from the series here, are we clicked on to the...
Yeah.
If as long as we're clicked on to that, the one that's active.
Okay, so click on 2019
Yeah, and then the arrows will take you to the next one.
really? Oh, Bryce walked by and somebody made the ooh face. I don't know what to call that. The Japanese guy going ooh. What is that? That's just the sound effect that goes into my head. Somebody says the bear was great. I agree. Okay, Cam, did you bring back any of that great Hokkaido butter?
Butter? No.
Is this a euphemism?
No. Hokkaido is famous for butter.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's got lots of ranches with cows. But I brought Shiroi Koibito, the white lovers, the little white chocolate cracker things.
Oh, right. Good.
Cool. Are they better than Tokyo bananas? I always see those in the train station. I think.
Have you ever had them? They actually taste pretty good.
Yeah?
They're like cream-filled, soft sponge cake type thing.
Okay. I'm like, I don't know. I might as well just go to convenience and get something I want.
Yeah.
Okay.
The right arrow should just...
Okay, right arrow. So let's look at the next image.
It's another image.
Boop.
There.
Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, so this is for...
Like you've never seen it before.
Yeah,
Okay,
well, I mean, some of the things
right.
that I'm responsible for,
All right.
I think. Oh gosh, that was a slog.
Oh, look at this. This is a good one. This is the guy who made it. Where are we here in this picture?
We are at the March one of the people feeding the sparrows in Ueno Park.
Oh, that's what I meant. Where is it? It's Ueno Park. So the first one was Osaka, so we're getting a bit farther and farther away. It's not all local neighborhood here. But.
Somebody says, Kerwit, how do I say your name? Chrwhit. Can you help me? Kerwit?
I don't know.
Kerwit?
Tokyo Banana Kit Kat. Jed, are you in Japan?
I am in
Yes.
Japan. I'm making my yearly pilgrimage.
Yeah, to the fount.
Any cherry blossoms in this series? Yes. So because it's a seasonal subscription series, April will be for cherry blossoms. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, this is March. It'll be the month before cherry blossoms, and it'll just. I liked this idea of people feeding sparrows in the park. I actually took a photo of an old lady chain smoking and feeding sparrows last year when I came here, and that was the inspiration for the image.
So an important point to make about this one, this shows what we're going to do. We are not doing 12 famous landscapes of Japan, visiting Kinkakuji and whatever. They're going to be, it's going to be about whatever, just moments, 12 moments, scenes from real life, set in Japan, and we're going to catch the seasons and catch hopefully the mood of just, it's just Jed literally wandering around and saying, oh, that looks cool.
I see you've already posted a new watercolor.
Oh, yeah. Trying not to suck.
Trying not to suck. That's scary.
Dead Steve says, I like this one quite a bit. Yeah, I hope somebody out there is like a sucker for cute, like, family situations. So I put, mom-child interaction. I don't mean that, like...
To get rid of the old lady chain smoking.
Yeah, I just thought this is a little more of a Hallmark moment. And not to say it disparagingly, I am a sucker for that stuff, so... it was a peeing out to the other suckers who are like me.
And remember too, what you're seeing at the moment, these are Photoshop mock-ups. These are the basic image and the lines and the colors. Of course, it's going to become, a woodblock print. So it's not going to look clone of this. It'll be toned and touched and felt like a woodblock print. So.
Yeah. So I mean, when
Whatever. Wow.
No, I'm saying it'll.
Get your head out.
It's like this is going to have lots of texture too. They're going to be much more luminous and deep and nice. Also, Dave, on the New Year's one, are you guys going to carve that yellow so that it goes underneath all the orange?
There's a white bare. The yellow goes under the orange as it exists. It won't cover the white. There'll be bare paper.
But when the yellow will mostly overlap with the orange block too, and then come in a little bit more on all the lamps and stuff like that. So. Okay, cool. Oh, Dead Steve's like, I just like feeding birds, to be honest. Awesome.
There's nothing about your picture.
Nothing about. Yeah, that's okay.
Well, we got one customer.
Yeah, that's cool. I like feeding birds.
I prefer it to. There's one more in there.
Oh yeah, this is the third one.
Third? Oh, I thought this was the 11th. Is November somewhere?
Well, no, the third one in our.
In our little. Yeah.
So this one's for November, guys, and I get the best of both worlds because it's November up in the mountains, so we get to show fall leaves, but also snow. Which Dave and I had like a big fight about. Dave's like, no, you cannot show snow in November because snow is a winter thing and November is not winter yet. And then I said,
no, wait.
Dave, have you ever been outside?
No, wait. That's not what happened. You eventually, you proposed this to me as the February print, the snow or winter print. And I'm saying, we got a problem here with that red
that's true.
stuff in the
That's true.
corner.
I said, yeah, this is for February. Dave said,
don't distort history here.
There are no koyo, there's no momiji, like the red maple leaves in February, Jed, you dunce. Oh, it's true, darn it. Now the story turns against me.
Whatever, no, I mean, it's both.
And then I said, okay, how about November? And to which you said, impossible.
So you desperately hunted around to find a location where there would be maple leaves and there early snow. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Early snow, this doesn't look like early snow. It looks like 6 months accumulation of the heavy stuff, but whatever.
No, this is like a good solid falling. So yeah, this is
Where are we?
This is I don't know, somewhere up in the
Nagano Ken?
Yeah, like Kiso Valley, like somewhere up in Nagano Ken. It's one of the many hot spring resorts there.
Is this a place? Have you been here?
This is actually based on a real onsen resort that I found up there. If you guys email me, I can give you a link to it if I can find it. But it looked like one of the most magical onsen I've ever seen.
Who's the lady with you?
Huh?
Who's the lady?
Oh, that what came out of my imagination.
Oh, I see, okay.
This is
Jed dreams about naked ladies. Okay, now we know where this is.
Yeah.
Going. It's okay.
One's occluded by hot sulfuric water. Somebody says, are those azaleas covered by snow in the background? That's like a giant rockery.
We're talking back left or
Yeah,
back
back
right?
here
Back right.
in the back. Wait, what's an azalea?
Suzuki.
Suzuki.
Azalea, it's what season are we talking about? Not that season.
Oh, it's just, Korean Gami says, shouldn't the lady have a towel somewhere? I blew it. I should have put a towel on top of her head. To which everybody would have said, what is that white thing on her head?
More snow.
She's been there so long.
She's a kappa sitting in the water.
Right.
But yeah, ladies do usually take a modesty towel into the bath. That's right.
That's true.
Not that I spent too much time on their side.
I blew it. It's in her hand in the water. And she's holding it in the water. Yeah. Oh, somebody's asking, is there a flower in the background? That's it. Yeah, what's in the background that you're carving? Is that what somebody was asking?
The block I'm carving right now is going to be the light colored lilac for the bird shape.
Oh no! Now John Becker says the towels don't go in the water. That's true. I forgot.
No. That's not. They do go in the water on the women's side. On the men's side, you never put the towel into the water. if you get near it, you squeeze it out and put it on your head or over your shoulders or something side. The ladies do take it in the water and cover up their body with it under the surface of the water. At least in all the advertising photographs.
Right. Interesting. Things I don't know. I lack experience going into women's public baths. Obviously. Oh, somebody's saying this would make an excellent woodblock print. But
I don't have a browser running.
Okay, we don't have a browser open right now, so we'll have to check this out later. We'll check out your link later on Omawi. Dead Steve says, humans have weird practices. Who knew? Yeah, I love it. Like you're visiting the Museum of Humans. Dave has had guest access pass from the NHK at John Becker TN.
Yeah. I've been in the women's side of any number of them because that's where we usually film.
Oh, really?
On the onsen visits, when they put me in the bath, it's almost always on the women's side.
Why? Does the women's side look better?
It's cleaner, whatever.
Gross.
We do it in before hours, like it's this thing that happens.
Why is
all
it
the time.
cleaner? Are dudes just covered in slime?
I don't know. I mean, I just follow our instructions.
That's
I
hilarious.
think what he remembers is a story I told once we were visiting one of these onsens in Kinosaki doing the filming before the onsen opened, early hours, like 7 to 8, it opened at 8 or whatever. And we ran really, really late. And the women were lined up outside waiting to get in, and the owner is desperate to get us out of there.
That's hilarious.
I quickly throw my clothes on and my yukata, and out we come at like 1 minute before 8. We part the curtains. I come walking out of the women's side, past a row of women, 12 of them all waiting to get in.
Scandalized.
And the curtain, from their point of view, they're waiting to get in. The curtain parts, and this bearded, dripping, wet foreigner with his hair over his forehead, in half the open yukata, comes by. And I didn't know they were there, and they didn't know I was there. We're both like going, okay, now what do we do? So,
Half of them turned away.
I don't think so.
I'm done. It is tainted for me. Someone says the famous bearded lady from the mountains.
But we tell these NHK stories. They haven't booked me now for over a year for those things. I think my time is done.
Yep, your star is faded.
No, he told me I'm too old. The last producer that I dealt with said, we had this conversation.
What are we doing with this guy?
No, what I had said was, well, when's next? Where are we going next? And he said, well, the equivalent of, don't call me, I'll call you. And I got the tone of his voice said, like, is there, if I did something wrong, what's going on, And they told me the word has come from the executive producers. They want the program producers to switch to choosing more women presenters and more bilingual, like my daughters, Asian mixed girls, to do the presentation.
Like Gaosan.
And I get it. That's the way they want the program to go. So I may not ever actually get another call from them. I don't know. It's been a year now, so maybe that's it. I'm retired.
Well, you got like shoved out like women in Hollywood. You got too old. You didn't get to do the Sean Connery thing.
It's not all over yet, but yeah, I get it. They have a specific tone that they want to set for the program, and they had too many. He said there's too many white guys with beards. Some of the other presenters of the program. They even called David. There's another one called David, an older British guy. They have too many older British guys called David with beards.
Ken says that the movie business is tough and often casts people aside.
I'm not bothered by it because I got my own movie company, my own YouTube channel. It's okay.
That's true. Dave went rogue. That's true. Yeah, somebody says, well, next year's subscription series looks like it's going to be very nice. Really looking forward to it.
It's a plus minus.
Thank you, Ken.
We are really looking forward to making it and doing these. The thing is, for the fan base who has been with us for the past 4 or 5 years, that has been mostly a game-related fan base, and this now is not related to that at all. So some of those people will stay with us because these look cool, but we may lose a huge number of subscribers, and we have to pick new ones up from somewhere else.
I should put Sonic the Hedgehog.
No.
I should put Sonic the Hedgehog in the onsen.
Or just hide one somewhere in every frame.
My gosh. Yeah.
The other question, Jed, which I really still haven't done my spreadsheets on, is price. These are much more complicated prints. Last year's Legendary Loot Series, this year's Loot Series, was 3 pieces of wood, 6 blocks, 6 faces, no gradations, very simple. We kept the price way down, $25. I can't do $25 for these prints. It's nowhere near.
Well, so here's the thing, though, Dave, is I've limited each of these to 6 colors. 6 colors. These are 6 color Sheen Hanga.
Yeah, they're not 6 color. You're talking about 6 faces, 6 impressions.
Well, right,
and
sure.
They're not actually. They're closer to 8, but whatever. Anyway.
No, I got it down to 6. You think you're gonna have to expand to 8
to make it look more depth and more realistic, to give it the depth. So.
Well, what would you?
No, we're okay. I'm not asking for a change. We are on target. But my point is, we can't do it that cheaply. Also, the paper size is bigger. It's a different project, and the printing is going to take much more.
Do you think we could do 35?
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't done a spreadsheet.
Okay.
The biggest factor for me is the printing time and how long it's going to take these people to do it and what I have to pay them. And that's the limiting factor for me and what the series price will be. So
Okay.
it won't be 50, but it won't be 25.
It won't be 50, but it won't be 25.
Yokai was 40, and this could be there. It could be 40 or it could be 45. I don't know.
Okay.
They're going to take.
Yokai was 40?
Yokai was 40 for 2 small prints each month.
Right. So we'll have to see, guys. These will be the same size as the Heroes Portraits prints, correct?
Close. We're still trying to figure out what the optimum size is for this to avoid paper wastage and block wastage. So. I'm sorry to be so commercial about this, but we're a factory. We have to figure out how to make things in the most cost-effective way.
Right. Well, and don't worry too much, guys, about the behind-the-scenes business talk. We're gonna make some art, and then you guys get a look at it. Somebody says, "Are we ditching Twitch for YouTube?"
If you want to pop that off.
Dave also posts on YouTube, and his videos are
Pop it down, pop the eye.
fabulous. If you want to look them up. What am I doing?
Pop the eye, close the eye. Yeah.
Ooh, fancy. So fancy. Oh yeah, Dead Steve says we'll figure out how big they are when we see you carving them on the stream.
Although that's difficult to tell. I mean, the one I'm doing right now, how big is it? It's not something you can easily tell from this.
Oh, this is funny. Corey Ngami says, would it be feasible to spread a subscription over 2 years so somebody could get the even months 1 year and the odd months?
This is another part of the
next?
thing that's under consideration, because I'm probably going to have to stagger my printers. This year, Ishikawa-san's been doing it all by herself. It's not going to be possible next year.
Because it's too
So
involved.
I'm going to use 2 printers. And the idea, one of the ideas on the table at the beginning was to do a print every 2 months, do a set of 6, or do it for 2 years instead of. But that really would minimize, your royalty income would go down.
Well, and your revenue
So,
from
and
it
the
too.
revenue, so.
So the thing about doing like an every 2 months thing would be that it really boosts my revenue and Dave's revenue.
Part of our business concept is having a good steady subscription series.
Right.
That's how Adobe works these days. You don't buy stuff anymore. They have a monthly revenue stream. And again, whatever you may not like business talk, but we have to think about how to pay my salaries and how to keep people running.
Right.
The shop month by month sometimes is up, sometimes is down. In February there's not going to be very many tourists here at all. And
Right.
the subscription series will pay my staff salaries that month.
It guarantees a certain amount to
Guarantee
pay
is
for.
not the word, but yes, it certainly helps, absolutely. So.
Yeah. Let's see.
But if you have any ideas about this or how you would like, how people would like to see it, throw us the ideas. Let me know. Actually, in the mix.
Like how they like scheduling to work?
Well, no, when this guy says I'd like to get it every 2 months over 2 years, whatever. So throw any ideas into the mix.
So yeah, whose question was that? Was that yours, Steve? Yeah. Dave does read these chat streams
And
later.
in terms of our back issue subscriptions, we do that. The software that Cameron's running upstairs. Some people say, I'd like to get these, but I just can't afford this every month. So Cameron says, no problem. We'll just click a switch on your account and we can send you one every 2 months. That's okay.
Okay.
We can do that all the time.
Cool.
We usually do that with the back issue sets, the sets that we already have, rather than the new set, of course.
Right. Let's see. Dead Steve says, "Who will be carving these prints? Surely not only Dave." And then
No.
Korengami says, "We have two. They have two other carvers on staff."
3 at the moment. So what's going to happen? The plan at the moment is that I'm going to do the first one here in house so that we can video it and get a good video, introduction video up. I'll carve it and I'll do some test printing, and then it will go to the printers for doing. And then starting with month 2, Kawasaki-san will be doing it. And if she can do it within the space of 1 month, we'll stick with her for the whole year like we did for this year's set. If she can't, then she and I will rotate. Or she will do 2, I'll do 1, she'll do 2, I'll do 1. We don't know quite yet because we don't. She's quite slow.
Right.
And,
Well, Chon-san's pretty fast, right?
yeah. At the moment, she has finished up number 12 in Loot. And normally now she would now be starting the next month's subscription series, but that's on my table.
Why don't you get her started in month 2 just to get a...
She will. What she's doing right now, she's working on 2 souls, and we've got to get that out the door. I'm 1 year late on that.
Oh, snap, yeah.
Not 1 year late, but it's now been 1 year since the people paid for it as part of the Kickstarter campaign last September. So we've got to get 2 souls out the door.
I'm sorry, that design feels like a liability. But anyway, moving forward. So Ken or Korengami says, good to know about the possibility of a flexible payment schedule. He says, I might be able to afford the new series then. Smiley face. So yeah. You just got a Yahoo Auctions notification, Dave, on your computer. So there you go. Jolly to Jolly says he loves the long videos on YouTube. Also, hello from the Czech Republic.
Ooh.
Amazing. That's awesome. Hello to the Czech Republic,
Not
Jolly.
really, but it means for him it's like 1 o'clock in the morning or something, right?
Yeah, gamers, dude. Gamers. Twitch people. Vampires. Sleep all day, work all night. Or play all night. Not really, but I think there are more extreme hours for video game people.
Do you use Wi-Fi, Bryce? Have you on? What have you got?
No, I'm just on the day right now.
We have Wi-Fi.
I'm just doing text
Yeah,
stuff,
you.
so I'm not even
On the, if you look at the cache drawer over there, on top of it, there's the Wi-Fi passwords and stuff. If you want,
Okay.
it's up to you. So, sorry, not to mention
The
that.
whole
Let's see.
Twitch stream knows the secrets of the Wi-Fi password.
Yeah, and where to find it. Rainbow Submarine says, Jed, any art that inspires you? Question mark. Jolly says 2 a.m. in Czech Republic, and Tutilis also says 2 a.m. here in Germany as well. Cool. And then someone says, just watching a bit before going to bed. Well, thank you for incorporating us into your nighttime routine. Sorry that you don't have like the usual very like relaxing monologue of Dave today. Sorry. Let's see here. Okay, Rainbow Submarine says, Jed, any art that inspires you? Yeah. Pretty much all art inspires me. If it's done either with a unique voice or, you know, exceptional skill. Either of those things gets me, you know. Good voice or good skill, and I'm down. I am a sucker for, I think, craftsmanship over voice, possibly, sometimes. But that said, if an artist is incredibly talented but doesn't have anything interesting to say, then I might get a little bored. But yeah. Oh, Dead Steve says that you are part of his bedroom routine also. You make him sleep.
I don't think I want to go there.
Compliment?
Yeah, it is a compliment. I watch you when I go to bed sometimes too, Dave. I'll be honest. You're chill.
Hey, Bull, I can put anybody in the world to sleep in 5 minutes.
Dave Bull, human Xanax.
You know what? There are some people who would pay good money to fall asleep in 5 minutes.
Look, I hear from them. I get, we'll get them here in the shop. People will come in, they're raving. Oh my God, I love a YouTube channel. I love a YouTube channel. And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, and I say, yeah, I go to bed and I put your channel on, and 5 minutes later, I'm asleep. I'm like, thanks, I didn't really need to know that.
I'd love it if everybody's like Pavlovianly trained to fall asleep at the sound of your voice. So people come in. I mean, would be a comedic situation. People come in, you say hi, they just drop. The voice.
That personality.
Okay, Ken asks, Jed, how do you feel about your currently successful career path, and do you ever miss not being involved in animation in some way? I recall in the documentary that it seemed like something you were aiming for. Yeah.
You want to tell me a little bit about that background? Like you went to college, you were animation.
Yeah, originally my plan was to go into biology and like work on like medicines. But then I watched a bunch of like Pixar movies one time and just was like, okay, I want to make this instead. Somebody else could solve malaria. And so I enrolled at a university for studying animation, and my goals were very kind of, what's the word, like one track in terms of that. Like I wanted to go get a job in the animation field, but I ended up changing my plans and changing my plans again and changing my plans again, and now I'm doing what I'm doing.
Okay, but wait, run back. You did do an anime. You were at BYU when you graduated, right? What is it?
Yeah.
A major in animation? I mean, what the structure is?
Yeah, I got a degree, an MBA in animation.
An MBA. MBA.
Sorry.
He got a BFA.
A BFA.
Wait, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
It wasn't. My head just blew up.
Also, I was in the MBA.
He did not get a master's in business administration
That's
in
what
computer
I know.
animation.
That's what I said. My head just exploded. Right?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, but
It's
the
early in the
story,
morning.
of course, your graduating class, the film you guys made as a graduating
Yeah, I won a student Oscar.
Yeah.
A student Oscar.
Jed is a real legitimate bona fide Oscar recipient.
Yeah.
Did you get an actual? Did they give small statue?
They gave me this like kind of marble thing with this like a cast bronze seal on it.
So it's not the same statuette they give to.
Yeah,
to
it was
grown-up
handed to me
ones.
by I forget the name of the actor. The guy who animated like Scar and Jafar and like all those bad guys in the 90s Disney movies. He was the animator on it. Anyway, he's the one who handed it to me, and that was all neat. I went home and threw it away. It was a giant piece of marble with a metal thing on it. I was like, I don't want this. So I threw it away. But
I think it's okay to mention. You did mention at one time that after that, then I guess you got a job call from.
yeah, so I was the intern. I was like the lowest paid little intern monkey on Hotel Transylvania 1.
So you're in LA at this point, then, doing that? Was that? Or?
Yeah, I spent a summer in LA as the intern at Sony Pictures Animation, and it was so sad. I was there the month that they launched Surf's Up, and they had been beaten to the market by that other singing, dancing penguin movie back then. Gosh, I can't even remember what it's called.
Happy Feet.
Happy Feet, yeah. So they got beat by Happy Feet, which is an Australian movie, I think. At least it was made in Australia. And so then Surf's Up tanked, and then for like the whole internship while I was there, everybody was really depressed because what I consider to be an arguably better movie totally just bombed. And then the whole studio was like sad for the rest of the summer. It was kind of a bummer.
Were you drawing stuff? What were you doing?
Yeah, so I was doing like character designs and things for Hotel Transylvania, but it was really just kind of like, here's our real production team. You stand over here on the side and act like you're in the production team and kind of like shadow box while we actually like get stuff
But that's
done.
fine. From their point of view, they're talent scouting. If this guy can actually do something good, then they're going to look.
Yeah, which then didn't happen. I ended up not getting a job at DreamWorks, Pixar, Sony, Illumination. I applied at a bunch of places, and so I just decided to become an illustrator instead. And this is now my life. I do this instead.
Okay, but that's another step. You did actually get a job as an illustrator. You were working for a company doing this, and then you did Ukiyo Heroes on the side as a side project.
Yeah. So Jolly to Joy says, nice life path. I actually finished my biology degree recently, but I work as a graphic designer. Boom, boom, right? I think so. Jolly, I don't know. The whole thing that like attracted me to biology was because I love nature, and I'm fascinated by the systems that control it. Obviously, like the chemical, physical, etc. Systems that control how nature works. But also, I just think it's pretty. And so then, in becoming an artist, it was just kind of another way of approaching the same thing. Like biology is like figuring out how it all works. And for me, art was just figuring out
Jed just wanted to draw dinosaurs.
how to make it look pretty. I do like drawing dinosaurs. I'm not as good as I wish I were, but there are some really excellent paleo artists out there. I haven't had the time.
You're a published dinosaur illustrator, right?
I guess so.
You have a book. I mean,
Yeah.
How many books have you got in print? Those
It's like 15 children's books in print. So anyway, yeah, I'm on Plan D. And Plan D is good. I think I'm going to just go with Plan D for a good couple of decades if Plan D will have me that long. So I'm grateful, Dave, that I think you legitimized this whole thing and made it all work. Whereas like without a crazy genius in Tokyo making wood prints and YouTube videos, I don't think it would have worked. So thanks.
Well, it's been an interesting mix, but you're the one who created the concept. So. Good morning, Kawai-san.
Let's see, this is interesting. Corin Gami says, I came to the professional world as an astrophysicist, and now I am a photography and cookery teacher. Career changes rock. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's so cool. And I'm sure that you are a photographer and cookery teacher who can tell me interesting things about the cosmos. Let's see here. Jolly to Joy says, yay, I'm on the same page. It was very interesting to study, but the career in science is not for me. It's very formalized and rigid. Filling out grants and publishing papers, no thanks. Yeah. Ken says, in addition to collecting woodblock prints, I also collect animation art, and some of my prized pieces are some animation drawings and cells from Jurassic Park. That's cool. Very cool. John Becker says, I am a former electronics designer and now I am a real estate photographer. Yeah, everybody's on like Plan B, dude. Corinne says, if I can still remember stuff, yeah, the universe is pretty interesting. Corinne says, if I still remember stuff. Cool. That's cool. Well, arguably, Neil deGrasse Tyson is a internet star that was once an astrophysicist as well. Right? I guess he still probably does stuff. Kicks Pluto out with the club. Or takes credit for it.
He's good at taking credit for things.
Yeah, he is. That's how you become an internet star. You walk up and take credit for things.
Not sure
Also
which,
president. What is it?
I'm not sure which career I'm on. It's the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. I don't know how you count them, So. And I'm done. This is career Z.
Career Z?
I think there isn't any more after this. I think this is where I'll be till the end, I think. You said Plan D, whatever. This is Plan Z for me. Plan Z.
He reveals his Britishness.
Canadianness.
Oh, and Canadianness.
Like nobody knew.
Yeah.
Where did you get that Z thing from anyway?
Z?
I mean, we invented it. What did you do?
I mean, we don't say A, bed, said, dead, E, F, Jed, H, I. You know what I mean? So where does the Z come from?
It finalized. It closes off the set.
A,
You have to
bed,
wrap it
said,
up.
dead,
You have to wrap it up somehow.
Good morning.
Hey, Kwaisai, come say hi.
How are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm good. Are you printing today? More city?
今日も after finished.
Okay.
So he's
He's going to double team it today. A full day in the shop. Oh, no, actually, no. Are you in the shop today? Yeah, yeah.
shop today, shop today.
河合さんすごいよ。本気で尊重します。
そう
尊重？尊敬？
尊敬
尊敬。
リスペクトですね。リスペクト。
Yes,
いや
尊敬。
僕も
ごめん。
いや僕もいつでリスペクト
Okay. 互いに。
楽しみにした新版が今ちょっと
あ、そうね。まあ新版画っぽい。
新版ジェロスさんがまたその火つけるかもしれない。ニュー版新版画のジェロスさんのプリントを見て人がまたこう発生とかこう広がる。
いや、そうね。
そうそう。
そしたら、
Kawai-san is what he's getting up to is he wants to be part of the printing team for next year's project.
Oh, yeah?
He just did that Hasui project, the old Hasui blocks that were found.
頑張れ。
Kawai-san did the job for the overseas publisher, and seeing your designs coming up for next year, he's like sitting there, choose me, choose me, choose me, choose me.
Cool, get it, dude. Get it. They should be. I mean, there are only 6 faces. 6 faces.
I think you're being optimistic.
You think so? I really design. I mean, it's 6 Photoshop
I'm
layers.
not being negative.
How many times do you have to add blocks over my Photoshop layering?
The pagoda in rain over there, that's 8. That's 4 pieces of wood,
Okay.
8 faces, and there's much more. You know, like it's not for to talk with people who can't see it. The paneling on the wall on the right hand side or something is probably on 4 of those faces.
Right,
And
right.
when you look at if you take a black and white photograph of that, how many gray tones you'd have? There's going to be at least 12, 13, 14 gray tones. you know,
Right,
so-
because of the overlap.
because of the overlapping. So.
Right,
And if there's too few, it looks a little bit cartoonish still. You know.
right.
And we're doing it. It's Shinnaga light, so the boundary between those. You know. So I'm really, really interested to trying to work this forward. But, so your Photoshop layering, that's where we start,
Okay.
and then we'll see what we have to
See where it goes.
いや、忘れたんじゃない。今日じゃない。週2回しかない。
あ、じゃあ今日、
今週じゃない。1週間前、1週間後。そう。
何ですか？
これ燃えないゴミっていうか、
あそう
そう、
ええ
セパレートしてそう
でも月に2回しか
月に2回
この
日本らしくないでしょ。
キャレンダーあります。
明るいんだね、あ、そっか。
So Heritage Printmakers, Cal is saying he puts money on it being over 8 faces. Cal, shut up. Hey Ken, Kawai-san, Ken wa konnichiwa, ohayou gozaimasu tte. Good morning, Kawai.
Good morning, good morning. ケンさんから。
そうそうそう。
やったことない。
でも、大体毎日いる。
大体毎日。ちょっと。
Okay, cool. Somebody says that I wonder when Dave starts his next career, ballet dancing, perhaps?
Is that a suggestion or?
A ballerino? Is a dude ballerina a ballerino? Can I say that? I like the word. I use that word in my head a lot.
No, as I said, I'm in my last incarnation. No question about it.
Yeah, Dave's in deep. He's got a storefront Tokyo in Asakusa and 20 employees.
That's the one, 20 plus employees. I think
And
it's
an
23.
American slave. Oh, I'll show you guys a sketch that I did yesterday, if I can pull it out. Oop, one sec. This shop looks good. Dave, you did a good job on the shop, dude.
I think so, thank you. I think we did. It isn't finished yet. The greenery still isn't in place. It'll probably be 10 years before we get to that now.
What's on in place?
Greenery.
What is that?
Greenery, plants and stuff. The whole, there's a bunch of empty spots which are supposed to be full of, flower displays and stuff, or green displays. Life got in the way.
Why don't you take all that free time you have and just put some flowers
Why
in there?
didn't I think of that?
All that free time. So let's see here, guys. So here's a sketch I did. It was my first sketch in Japan. It's a big brown house with a green background.
This is yesterday, you mean?
Yeah, I did this yesterday. It's actually not something.
Should we here?
This is not actually something that I saw in Japan per se, but I saw a farmhouse on the train coming in from Narita because it goes across the. Oh yeah, look at that. More light, Dave. My art deserves more light.
Here you go. Quick screenshot, steal it, people.
Yeah. So anyway, I didn't finish the 2 farmers on there. They're just white ghosts. Right?
Nijubashi, you went to the Imperial Palace yesterday.
Yes.
I see a ghost of Nijubashi
Yes.
with the castle behind it.
Yeah.
The imaginary castle behind it.
Oh yeah. So the texture is because it's
Watercolor paper.
It's watercolor
side lit.
paper.
Yeah.
So if we do it on we do it this light, then you don't have to deal with the texture as much, and it doesn't distract as much. I like the texture because it with watercolor. I like using rough paper because it creates a nice modeling color effect because it's got like hills and valleys of texture where the pigments kind of pool.
Wait. You said you did this on the train coming in? Like you're pretty fast.
I saw it on the train. I woke up at 2 a.m. yesterday, turned on all the lights in the room while Bryce was trying to sleep. And
so you had a photograph to work from?
Yeah. Okay. And then painted all morning.
I mean, painting like this from an express train window. I mean, you're some Superman, you know.
Yeah. Watercolor is not that nice. No. So anyway, yeah.
Brown buildings and mountains behind.
Yeah, my jam. Yeah, and look, I used white pigment, your favorite. Opaque white pigment. Dave is against opaque white pigment because it's not ukiyo-e.
Whatever, we all have our standards.
We do. But I just want to jab you for it.
Yeah. All right,
they do it.
Jitsan, we're getting around time where we probably have to wrap this up. I do have to get to. I'm on this shop duty today. One of the girls who's supposed to be here has canceled. Employees, has canceled.
Am I right?
So it's going to be me, Kawai-san, and Koizumi-kun. The three boys. It's the three tenors today.
Cool.
We got a few parties. I think it's a pretty full party schedule. So we'll be at that. So the stream, for the viewers here, the stream schedule. Today's Monday, tomorrow... No, today's Monday. Yeah, so today's Monday, right? Yeah, tomorrow off. No stream tomorrow. What's this?
Korigami posted the best zing ever. He says he's against white pigment because it's so Kyoto. It's so you.
Did I say that?
I know, it's just so... He just, transposed all of Daveness into...
Yep, I'll
solid zing.
Whatever.
That's so
we all have prejudices, and yeah, okay, I'll admit to that. It's funny. It's this is Japan. The farther west you go, the more pretentious they get. The farther east you move, seen from their point of view, the more downscale and lower class we get. And I'm in the basement. We here in Edo are in the basement from Kyoto people's point of view.
Yeah, they view you guys as the underdogs. Ken says it was great having guests. Take care, all. See you in a couple days. Korigami says LOL. And Virga says, glad I tuned in tonight to catch Jed. Enjoy the rest of your time in Japan. Thanks, Dave, for letting us watch you.
So you're heading out now, too?
Yes, I'm going to Kyoto.
He's going to Kyoto to design for my next print series. I mean...
It's so Kyoto.
I'm going to get what I deserve, obviously.
That's okay. I'm going to Kyoto because Americans didn't burn it down, and it's got a bunch of old stuff in it. So.
Well, they did their own version of destruction with concrete and stuff. I mean, it's not.
It's going on.
No, of course.
Okay. I haven't seen it.
They've destroyed it themselves.
Yeah, you don't step back 200 years and have horses walk around.
No, but the deal with Kyoto, and this without being the sarcastic joke, and this is their viewpoint. You stand on any given street, you're going to see concrete and noise and stuff, but their point of view is it's hidden away. It's hidden. They don't put it out front to enjoy the real Kyoto. And this is the serious point. You have to go inside, you have to get introduced, you have to see the inner stuff because they don't put it out on the front door.
Really?
So even though you might think, oh my God, look at all this concrete, what have they done to this place? They'll say, that's fine, you don't know the real Kyoto. And I'm not shooting at them. That's
how am I going to see anything?
It's gardens. I gave you.
Go to the gardens.
I told you
okay.
that Shinji Wongi inside. You have to look inside and look inside and look inside.
Okay.
And that's really their concept of how they're behaving. It's secret. It's inside. It's inner. It's not put up on the front door.
Yeah. Okay. I'll follow your guide. You guys, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. And we'll be back here on Wednesday morning. And I'm not sure what I'll be doing. Whatever. I'm supposed to be test printing this print by then. Perhaps that will really happen. I don't know.
Monday.
Hey, Jed, thanks so much for dropping in. Good.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Bryce. Nice to see you. You didn't participate too much.
I just started the show, I think.
So,
okay.
I don't think Jed knows how to shut this down.
I don't.
My special zoom. You see my wind blown here? If I lean just right, maybe it looks like there's a wind blowing through the room.
Yeah, you look like Mrs. Incredible.
So what we...
She has that haircut.
My son-in-law last night, we still had the gas heater upstairs is still broken. It broke the day before my family came to stay. The gas heater broke. So we'd been going to the public bath. And the first 3 days they were here, the public bath was closed for renovations. So like my son-in-law was thinking this is how they do it here in Japan, wiping with tissues and stuff and baby wipes. So after the third day, we went to the public bath and
It felt good.
Hey, well, last night that's where I was, but we went really, really late last night. Didn't dry my hair, fell asleep, and now I can't do anything with it. So, hey, shutting down. See you later. Next Wednesday we'll be back up and running. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the community. See you soon.
You do look like there's a stiff breeze, Dave. It's good though.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
make me feel like I'm in an epic movie. You should get a cape that's also like kind of like stuck out this way, and a sword.
The video is down. We are now in a hot mic situation. Anything dangerous to say? Nope. Let's shut it down. Bye-bye, guys. Thanks again.